Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. This is my argumentative speech in purposive communication. My stand on the national government's plan and actions during the pandemic COVID-19. I stand with the government plans and action with reservations. In the light of pandemic COVID-19, thousands of people have suffered not only in the Philippines but globally. And then there are countries who were hit severely, which includes the US and Italy. The sheer number of COVID-19 cases that ballooned in these countries are extremely high considering their economical stature. This just proves that they were not clearly prepared for this kind of disaster considering the aforementioned countries as basis. The Philippine government did an excellent job in confining and delaying the spread of this virus. The death toll still increases, and many a great number of freshly affected still arises each day. This is not due to the negligence of the government but the stupidity and stubbornness that is innate on Filipinos. Most often than not, we blame our own mistakes to others just to have a clean slate in the eyes of the public. As simple as it seems, but we don't know follow the rules. An ugly trait that Filipino people cannot remove from itself. I stand with the government plans and action with the reservation. This is due to the fact that some of our leaders are incompetent, especially regards with their men whose action reflect that of their leaders' failure in providing enough provisions because most of their employees tends to navigate most of the supplies to their own family members, relatives, and friends. Those of whom do not have the respect of their own men is not a leader to at all. The opening of the country's business establishments is a good start-up. The government The government coffers are reduced by a great number. A spark from the economic can ignite and increase it once more, no matter how small and slow it could be. This greatly helps the smaller units that are severely affected by the lockdown to rise once again. The plans of community of classes for the school year of 2020 and 2021 is a must. The DepEd and CHED has suggested different means to provide learning for the students. Aside from the face-to-face setup, the date of release of a cure is highly unreliable. Thus, students should bear the weight of its expectancy and should suffer the consequences far more than they already did. I, for one, honestly hopes that the government would provide necessary provisions for the student in regards with this new normal clause in learning. This pandemic has opened the eyes of the blind, spoken the words of the mute, and heard the whispers from the deaf. If we could only learn to submit and abide discipline that Filipinos clearly do not have, I strongly believe in the government but not with its people. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon.